One, two, three, four. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jarvi.
And I'm Mary.
We're AP Harbor, part of it. We're sort of a part of a larger collective of different people, and this is sort of the core band. We have a drummer as well, but the whole initial project with AP Harbor was this big reboot. I was playing in a bluegrass group prior to this, and once 2020 hit, we didn't really know what to do. We couldn't tour anymore, and I wanted to take. I have a really, really big discography, and I wanted to take all of those songs and sort of give them a chance to be recorded. And they span all sorts of different genres, and I wanted to record each one in the way that it should be recorded. So that's really what AP Harbor is this big reboot project. So actually none of it's new technically. It's new to being heard, though. Jarvi sort of added his own flair on a lot of it, and then Mary came in with vocals, and we gave it this life that it didn't have to begin with. So that was cool. 2, 1, 2, 3. I've got a talking problem, I know. Everyone says that I'm as quiet as the snow. Maybe they're right, oh, I won't fight it after all. There's a weariness in the noise that has my heart in tow. I've got a talking problem, so they say. I've never been one to say too much from day to day, but I believe the silence isn't all that bad. Lately I sing less and less, it's to you, my friends. I've got a talking problem, I know. And everyone says that I'm as quiet as the snow. I travel with a sweet repose behind my back, 'cause words are wasted far too much on the meaningless. I wrote Talking Problem, I was in college. I worked in a research building, and I worked with this woman named Brenda, and Brenda was always giving me a hard time. And I'm really shy. I don't like public speaking, being in front of people, and she would always say that I have a talking problem. So I wrote this song to make her feel bad. But it backfired because she just liked the song. So, we included it on an album. It used to be really different. The version that we recorded first was sort of a Simon and Garfunkel kind of track, but once Jarvi and Mary got involved, it became this, what the original vision was this big, sprawling, snowy sort of sound with Mary play some trumpet in it, this really cool guitar arrangement. I was really happy hearing the AP Harbor version sort of finalize that. It's quiet. It's a quiet song, as the name implies. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The second song we did, I Can Only Write When It Rains, I believe Andrew originally wrote for Melissa Caskey, but she moved away for a while to Maryland, and she's back now, but she wasn't available for the recording, so we switched that over to me singing it, and that's how we ended up recording it this last time. Had you recorded it before?
No, that was the first time it was recorded, and we couldn't get Melissa in the recording because she was so busy and she was far away, and it was during COVID. So I pulled her vocal from a live cut that we did in a YouTube video. I found it live, and I ripped her vocal from it and tuned it in to the recorded version so that she could still sing on it because it was her song. And so when we filmed the video, we drove up to Maryland, and Mary and Melissa sang it in the music video together.
But that's really part of what AP Harbor is about, is this collaboration with all of these various musicians, and it doesn't have to be just a few people. It's lots of people. work, plumes plucked from arrows, while the bow remains unstrung, wrapped black as the night in a sable to dry. I had never before opened up my eyes. I pretended that my mother had read us a tale of obsession, invention, crossed, and flowers for sale. A redeemer climbs up out of the deluge. A serpent slumbers on her skin beneath the moon. Prisoners in purity and piety in bloom. I cried. I had never before opened up my eyes.
I can't really say much about the actual writing of Ariel. It's about a book series, but I can't tell you which book series. Maybe you'll find out someday. It hasn't been written yet.
Ariel is my absolute favorite to sing right now.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Her voice makes it.
Yeah,
She's got
it
that
really
medieval thing going
Yeah.
on. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Prancing on the boardwalk of the table, where underneath swells a carpet sea, stirring in the sun. Dust waltzing in the beams through curtains, particles, I can see them. Oh, I wish that I could be them. Careful little circles turning. I'm a cat chasing a yellow string out of my reach, like God and the sea. I found a hook. When I saw the ocean for the first time at night, I think I lost myself in the eventide. I had written about the sea before. I thought I'd gotten the details right, but it turns out my poems and my songwriting are no truer than my science. I'm a cat chasing a yellow string out of my reach, like God and the sea. I found a hook. A hook is a weird song. That's one of the. I think that's the oldest song that we played tonight. It was written sometime in I think 2014 or so, and I was a psychologist. I graduated with a degree in psychology. I did research, and I went to Hilton Head Island on a conference for social psychology once, and that was the first time I'd ever seen the ocean, and it was nighttime, and that really just hit me. And shortly after that, when I came back from that trip, I made the decision to leave psychology and pursue music professionally, which was a very difficult choice to make. But that's sort of what that song is about. That and everything that came with that period of time. Making big decisions like that is like drowning in stress, and I wanted that song to feel underwater. If you listen to the recorded version, it's really, really dense with watery synthesizers.
Yeah.
My roommate at the time when it was written played the saw on the solo there, so like the musical saw, and I was really happy that I still had that recording when we finished the cut. So, yeah. There's a little old man in his little blue pickup truck, his St. Bernard beside him in the seat. He's going on his way, it's almost noon, towards the post office, stopping by the market to pick him up some fruit. In the bustling of the town, he picks out a crate of oranges, 2 cents a pound, and takes the oranges home. One rolls out the back of the pickup truck and tumbles on its melancholy way down the dusty market road. Turns the truck around, retracing the footsteps of the orange as it rolls. Well on its way this afternoon toward the post office, bobbing, it ricochets into the great unknown. The little old man parks his little blue pickup truck in the post office patron parking lot. His St. Bernard has confirmed there's no mail here today, so they turn their eyes to the deep and endless hole. It stretches like a puncture in the plane of their vision, in the shoulder of the sidewalk by the post box, and like ostriches they dive headfirst into the chasm, reuniting with the orange down yonder as they go. Three of them have fallen down here many times before, whether in holes in the road or in the rib cages of dogs. The little old man and his St. Bernard nudely in the orange, round and perfect as the sunlight through the fog. They came to a fence, an unnecessary fence, only 3 feet wide in the center of a field, easily scalable and easily passed by, and flimsy enough to level with very little effort. They didn't harm the tiny fence without a doubt. Isn't that a nice thing to think about? Little Old Man's the oldest song, actually.
Okay.
I lied. Little Old Man is the oldest song. It was written in 2010, but it's the most recently released song. We've been going in backwards chronological order with our releases. And Little Old Man is just this strange little song I wrote. It didn't have any meaning. It was just a little story. And as it was being written, it sort of took on the personality of my great-grandfather. I don't know why. It just reminded me of him. And all of these characters from his life, like the dog, the St. Bernard, and the little blue truck, and the post office, all of that, became part of the song over time. The imagery in the song is a little bit surreal as it goes through, but the dog with the hole in its side is a true story. There was this dog. I'm from Van Lear, Kentucky originally, and this neighborhood dog just had this hole in its rib cage, like just walking around. I mean, it was fine. It lived for a really long time, but as a kid, that like really imprinted on me. And this idea that there's this alternate dimension in this dog made its way into that song. So that's sort of what that song's about, I guess.
For me, music is, of course, an art form among many others, like visual arts or theater, poetry, or, whatever. So it's a way of expressing emotion. To me, that's like the very simplest definition of art. But I think why, for me, music is definitely my favorite art form. And for me, I think it's because you mix like the actual music and then you have like the words too. And like, just for whatever reason, for me, that's such a powerful combination. And the music can breathe life into the words that would have never been there if they were just like words on a piece of paper. Now I'm also not like discounting instrumental music, like that's a whole nother thing, and that I love instrumental music, but just overall for your like typical like song with lyrics, it just, I don't know, I feel like it's combining two very powerful things to get something even more powerful.
I'm not a religious person or anything, but music makes me feel very spiritual. I feel like it transports me to some other thing. I love to just lay in bed and close my eyes and just imagine all the different things that music can do and places it can take me. My favorite kind of music is music with really, really heavy imagery because it transports me away.
Yeah.
And I love music for the same reason I love visual art and literature. And I like them all equally. Music's just what I'm okay at.
Yeah, that's another thing, is like, it's just what I like happen to be, slightly better at than like any of the other ones.
Right.
Music is story. I work in design and marketing. I'm an art major. I teach art, and the underlying theme in all of that is story. That's what connects us to art, and music is an art. That's kind of been like my artist statement since college. Story and how story connects people. We're always telling a story. Your story is always influencing someone else. And I'm really concerned and fascinated with how those stories touching affect those around us, and music is just another avenue of that.